Ladies and gentlemen, I got one question for you. Are you not entertained? Ashlyn Jackson hits a buzzer beating shot to ultimately lead to Duke taking down LSU. Oh my God. What a game. All right, let me get Mom on the line because we got to talk about this, okay? Because Duke, what a game. What a game. Okay, let's talk to Mama about it cuz oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh, this was insane.
Hello?
Mama. Okay, so I'm live.
Oh my goodness.
Mama, what did we just see?
We just saw LSU be taken down by Duke. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
What a game. This was a game from the very, very beginning. Duke came out fired up, ready to go, as they say. This Duke team was rebounding like they were crazy. Mm-hmm. They were sticking it back. They were playing their game. LSU was not ready for Duke.
Not at all.
They took Duke for granted. They thought, oh, we got this. We number 2. They number 3. They not good as us. They took them for granted. And if it was not for Flage, they would not. For
Wiley.
For Wiley, they would not even had a chance to even be in the game in the fourth quarter because for Wiley is the only one that was scoring in that first half that got.
She had 18 points in that first half? Yeah.
In the first half. The one-man wrecking ball machine. I think that the problem was because she became a one-man wrecking ball machine and didn't get everybody else in the game early enough. They came back in the fourth quarter is really where LSU really strived to get back into the game. But I think it was really too late because Duke had set the tone for the whole game. Mm-hmm. Now they didn't score that last four minutes that Duke went stale there, but they had played their whole game. They played the game to win. So Duke should have won this game, but I thought they were going to lose. What lost it for LSU was when Fulwiley did that when she stole that ball and she ran up the court and she missed the layup. That would have won the game for LSU. But her missing that layup, that gave Duke another chance to set themselves up to win the game. That last basket, how that ball was
I literally did not make any noise in that last couple of seconds when that shot went, because I was just looking like, whoa. And it was like circling around, and it went in. I was like, what? I was like literally stunned silent. I literally was stunned silent because I had already, like, basically set in my mind at that point. I was like, okay, well, I don't think Duke is going to do anything on that inbound because what, like 2 point something seconds left to go.
2.6.
And I was just like, I don't see Duke making this happen. And then when I saw Ashlyn Jackson have the basketball, I was like, I don't think she can hit that. And that ball circled around, and then in, and it was like, oh my God, Mama.
You saw the look on Flage.
Flage did not think she was going to hit that. So Flage, to be honest with you, that's why she played the type of defense she played on that one. Like, she was like, okay, let me just jump her a little bit, she ain't gonna hit that, no worries.
And then a 3-point shooter, right?
Because Ashlyn Jackson has struggled from the 3, right?
Right.
And hey, just because you struggled before don't mean you struggling today, because Ashlyn Jackson was like, nah, let me hit that. Let me hit that shot and let me take y'all home. Let us get our revenge on you all who beat us earlier in the year. And Mama, I think you are totally right. This team took Duke for granted. They took Duke for granted, and we saw lackadaisical play. Like the play-by-play folks were talking about it, how there were so many sort of 50-50 balls, rebounding opportunities where like Duke, they were just on it. They were just on it, and it's like LSU is like, man, what's going on with y'all?
LSU usually get those balls. They usually get those balls, but the sportscaster, she kept saying before the game started, she said if Duke can win on the rebounding front, they have an awesome chance of winning the game. She said that's what they needed to do. They needed to rebound well. And not only were they rebounding well, they were getting second chance points, second chance to score, and they were making it. And they had all these weird rebounds and actually was able to put the ball back in. It was like, oh my good. It was like you were seeing a whole different Duke team.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. We know they've been winning the last 10 games or so. We know they've been doing well towards the end part of the season. They picked up the pace after the first part of the season where they did horribly bad. And they picked up the pace and they started winning a lot of games. But what they came in to do tonight, I have not seen them play to this level.
Yeah.
Not to this level. I mean, the whole 9 yards, they were doing everything.
Their level,
were doing everything.
Their level of execution was really good. Now, did Duke do some boneheaded stuff that like could have cost them the game? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
especially
of course,
late.
Of course.
Of course. But as a whole, Duke had a really good game plan, and they executed it well as a whole. Now, of course, there was stuff that LSU could have absolutely exploited when it came down to the fourth quarter, but ultimately they didn't, and you lose because yes, this is a very good scoring team, but when it comes to decision making for LSU, there is a lot more to be desired. Okay.
Yeah.
You got Malaysia Fulwiley, fantastic scorer. She can score the basketball, but also she can make some dumb decisions. Sometimes her game is just like, what are you doing? Like on that steal and fast break opportunity that could have, in my opinion, could have sealed the game for LSU.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Malaysia, she got the steal, was going straight to the basket. There were basically 3 Duke players that were like right there when she was making the layup. Right. Here's the thing. Instead of doing a fancy type of layup, why don't you realize game, score, time, and say, ooh, actually, let me pull it out. Let me pull it out. And to me, that kind of did seal the nail in the coffin for LSU. That play was like, yes, fantastic steal, but does it matter? Does it matter if you just like totally jag the layup? Like I don't get it. I really don't understand.
I think that made the difference in those last few seconds. That made such a difference. Yeah, she got that steal, and which she was waiting for that ball. I was like,
yeah, she's waiting for it.
Steal the ball. Come on now, y'all had it. I'm like, y'all had it. You let her steal, but she missed the layup. She missed that layup. I think also her being the full focus, even in that first half, that got them back in the game. I think she had 18 points.
Yeah.
In the first half. That was not good for LSU because it meant that all they had to do was stop one person because the rest of y'all wasn't really doing anything. They wasn't really doing nothing that first half. But if you look at Duke, it was a rounded thing.
Mama, can we give some love to Taina Mayer? Taina Mayer, this girl showed up like crazy. I was like, Nair, where have you been? Like she was so
net.
good.
All net.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
she was taking it to him. It was. I'm telling you, this was a rounded team effort for Duke. They all was in this game. They all was in this. And what I do love about it, they didn't really have real problems with fouling per se. They didn't have a fouling issue. Yes, they fouled, but they didn't have a fouling issue where they just kept putting LSU on the line. They didn't do that. But LSU kept putting them on the line. They kept fouling them.
Yeah, Duke had 23 free throws in today's game. They made 18, which is absolutely amazing.
It is.
Because Duke is a terrible free throw shooting team. They're normally terrible.
What's their star name that I know she did 7 of 8 at least. Which the way she when she got ready to do her free throws before she did the first one, she held the ball.
Who, Toby?
It looked like she took
yeah.
She took a deep breath and she was making those free throws. I was like, well, you gone, girl. You go do that. She was calming herself down and she making the free throws. They're going to keep fouling me. I might as well make my free throws. It was significant. I was back here just enjoying this game. I was like, ooh, Duke, y'all something else.
Yeah.
Carol Lawson, I don't know what you did to them, but whatever you did, it worked because they came out to play. They came out with the mind that we're going to beat LSU. That was their mindset in their play. You could see it.
They wanted it more, and they were more prepared. And if you looked at, like, I was just like throughout the game, I was looking at Carol Lawson and looking at and Kim Mulkey. Kim Mulkey looked frazzled the entire game. She looked stressed the entire game, frustrated, and Carol Lawson, she always just kind of looks the same. Like she just she always kind of looks the same. And she seemed poised, controlled. I mean, at times, of course, visibly frustrated, but like overall, like very, very controlled. And it makes me wonder if the possible rumors are true about Kim Mulkey. Allegedly, now I don't know if this is true or not, but allegedly she might be retiring.
Really?
Kim Mulkey, yeah. That's what's circulating on Twitter. And I'm like, well, if she's retiring, I can understand why she was like, I ain't going down like this type of deal, but just overall, Kara Lawson, like I tell you, I love when teams do things that I did not expect. Mama, earlier this year, when Duke lost to West Virginia, right? They played during the holiday it was some sort of holiday tournament, and they were playing in basically a ballroom that was turned into a basketball court. West Virginia and Duke altercation ensued. People got off the bench. A lot of people got ejected in the game from West Virginia, and they had to play the entire second half for West Virginia with 5 players.
Oh, I remember that.
And in that game with 5 players, and it wasn't even all 5 starters, it was a mix, but like a lot of bench players. But with that 5-player roster, West Virginia took down Duke. And after that happened,
unacceptable,
yeah. After that happened, Mama, I think that next show I had, I went in on Duke, and I was like, "This is ridiculous," and all, and yada yada yada. Like I was like, "This is trash." Like I was going in on how terrible Duke was playing up until that point, and including that game, and I was like, "There's no way this team does anything in postseason. They don't look like they're ready. Their offense sucks. It did. Absolutely it did early in the year. It didn't seem like they had any real identity offensively. Defensively, they were okay-ish. But it felt like after that and after basically after the non-conference schedule, Duke, we started to see who they really were. We started to see like them really, really form a legit identity. We saw this team look really, really good to the point where it was like, man, is this the same Duke team as earlier this year? And it shows that like evolution is the purpose. Evolution is the purpose of the whole of the reason why you have non-conference and conference games that go into tournament time. That's why, because you evolve over time. You get better over time. You understand your teammates more. You figure out exactly where you should be on the court at any given time. Your offense gets together and your defense turns into a elite type of defense. And that's what we saw today. Man. We saw a really, really good Duke team. And a team that is way better than they were earlier this year. And Mama, I love to see it. Like I really do. Like this is growth. This is absolute growth for Duke in real time over the season. And I just love to see it. I really do.
When this game started, I just thought they was just on a high. I was like, okay, LSU gonna win. They gonna come in. They gonna do their thing. But as the game evolved towards the second quarter, I was like, oh, this is the real deal. So this is they're not just doing something just to start the game out nicely. They are playing with a certain pace with the idea we're going to the hole. We're shooting, and they were passing the ball. Another thing that Duke did much better than LSU, they shared the ball.
Yeah.
They shared the ball. LSU was doing this one person. And remember, Rashad at the end, I think it was towards the end of the second quarter, I think it was 9 seconds or whatever, and she told Williams to go back and she didn't get a shot off. Remember that?
Yeah. And it the box score tells the story on that one. Only 8 assists in the entire game for LSU.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely me basketball. It definitely was.
Well, you can't win when you're playing a team that's all together like that. You can't win against them because every teammate is looking to do what's best for the team. It wasn't a me. It was who had the best shot, and whatever play that was ran, they ran a lot of plays.
Yeah.
They ran a lot of plays.
Yeah. They had a really, really good ball movement throughout the game. And it's also it also just says a lot about every single person who touched the floor for Duke scored today. Every single person. They scored. Whereas Kay Koval, she was in for like 21 minutes. 0 points, mama. Zakiya Johnson gets a start today. She barely plays. But anyway, 0 points for her. Right? Bella Hines got in for a couple minutes. 0 points for her. This was a game that was definitely one-sided on the Malaysia Fulwali side. 28 points for her, and then eventually, and eventually we saw Michaela Williams get into it. 22 points for her. I think Flau'jae Johnson had a terrible game. Like yes, Flau'jae had 13 points, but like she had a bad game. Like I don't know. She just didn't look. I want to say ready. Like I want to say that she didn't look ready, which is odd to say about someone in her senior year possibly playing her last game. Like I don't know. She just didn't seem ready for the moment. I don't know what it was, and people may feel a type of way, but I actually like that Kim sat her on the bench for a good amount of time in the fourth quarter because she wasn't doing nothing. And
Right.
even when
But
she
when
came back in the game, she didn't do nothing.
Yeah, but she did better though. She did better when she came back in. But I just think Full Wally going on that run hurt them because she didn't engage anybody else in the game.
But Mama,
it's like they cleared it out for her.
But Mama, I gotta say, if Malaysia did not do that, Duke would have blew out LSU.
But what I'm saying is they could, because the LSU is too good to let happen what happened to them today. They're too good to let that
They
happen.
are, but nobody was ready to start the game besides Malaysia.
Yes, but when they came in after halftime, your whole tone, their tone did change somewhat, but it still wasn't where everybody was locked in like they should have been. And it seemed like Full Wally didn't play as good in the third quarter she did in the whole first half.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, okay, she was hot. Now she's not. Okay, so what happens now? Because you didn't get anybody else in on the game. Now who's going to pick up the mantle? That's what I'm saying. And that's what hurt them. Yes, they were able to get back in the game in the fourth and run, but it was a little bit too late. That's what I'm saying. And I always don't like when you have one player kind of taking over the game and nobody else is seemingly getting a touch with the ball. It was like they basically was clearing it out for her. Yes, she got him in the game. Yes, she kept him in the game. But that wasn't what you needed down the stretch of the game because now she has exhausted herself. Full Wally was exhausted. Okay?
Yeah.
She's exhausted.
Yeah.
They needed her down the stretch more than they needed her in a sense. You understand? I understand what you're saying, but if they looked at it from the standpoint, we see what Duke is doing. How do we counter that? All of their players are in gear. At one point, I think it was one player had 17 and three other players had 9 points each. So they had 4 players that had significantly scored, right? And all you had was Full Wally. What did that look like? You can't win like that. You can't win. Yeah. You can't win the game like that. And that's why Kim Mulkey was over there frustrated. Like she got to pull her whole hair out. I mean, she was over there. She was having a real rough time. Because she's like, who can I put in here? Who gonna step up? Why can't you all do your norm? Mm-hmm. Yes, Williams came in about the fourth quarter. Now she's ready to play. Now Flage like she ready to play. Okay, but where were you all for 3 quarters? Where were you all for 3 quarters? They should have won this game. Yeah. But they didn't play the game. So that's why they lost. Carol Lawson prepared her team to say, we can beat this team. They came in with the mindset, we can beat this team. No matter, yes, we know who they are, we still can beat them. So they had the confidence, and they played with the confidence. They did not play timid or scared. They did not. But LSU was not prepared for this type of Duke team. Yeah. That was the issue. They thought, we've seen them play. Yeah, they good, but they ain't that good. This is a walk in the park for us. No, it's not. Not at this juncture. Everybody got to play. Everybody got to play. We saw what UConn was not prepared for North Carolina the first quarter. Yes, they ended up beating them, but they were not prepared for what North Carolina was doing. Because they didn't expect it, right? Yeah, yeah. They didn't expect it. So they had to change their game plan. Like, we got to play for real. Because they're going to beat us. And if Sarah Strong had stepped forward, they wouldn't have had a chance because North Carolina was on it. And they were defending as well. I'm just saying, at this point of the tournament, you can't take nobody for granted. Mm-hmm. You can't take nobody for granted. They're in this tournament to win. They're trying to get as far as they can to the championship as they can. Everybody. Otherwise, they would have just gave up and say, "Oh, okay, well, we know you're the better team. We're just gonna go through the motion." No. We played to the end, and that's what they did. They played to the was 0-0 today.
They played until the wheels fell off, and they did a really good job doing it too.
Ooh.
I tell you that. But Mama, we got a super chat. Want to read it real quick.
Okay.
Dis fan, thank you so much for the super chat. Says that was crazy. This is the year of upsets in women's tournament. Dis fan, I completely agree. Like, what a insane in the membrane type of game. I just love to see it. And also, if y'all appreciate the fact that me and Mama are doing a live stream post game after ESPN has moved on to other stuff, right after the game was over, ESPN was like, okay, women's basketball is over. Let's talk about some other stuff. If y'all appreciate me and Mama doing a live stream, well, let us know by hitting that like button, okay? The more and more we show up for women's basketball content, the more that the powers that be, the big dogs, the ESPNs and the CBSs and all those big stations of the world, they will provide more content for us, right? I think at the rise of how all the they're doing all these shows now and whatnot that's women's basketball specific or that's featuring women's basketball content a lot more is because of us and what we're doing on social media and how we're engaging. And they're like, hey, there's a market. Okay, well, let's build a show. Let's build some stuff. Let's make some stuff happen because we're doing it. We're creating a pathway for them to be like, okay, we know how to make money or whatever, right? Because that's all ultimately what it is. Like they don't think, in a lot of ways, they don't think that women's basketball can make them a significant amount of money, which is why they cut away from women's basketball to talk about Tiger Woods. Because we already know, we all know all day. I've been seeing the same headline about Tiger Woods. We know. It's okay. We know there's nothing new we're hearing about Tiger Woods. Okay, let's break down these games, right? And so, like, that's my thing. So guys, if y'all appreciate this, please support it by hitting that like button because it really does mean a lot. And it doesn't mean that you have necessarily always have to rock with us on the channel. There's a lot of people talking about women's basketball. Support that because organically, as we grow stuff, then the corporations and the powers that be with all the money are more likely to give us content that we want, right? And so that's my spiel there.
This game was too dynamic for them not to cover it right away.
Yeah,
it was too dynamic for them not to cover it. And when they did that, I was like, "Are you serious? You thought you were gonna cover it later? Are you serious?" Look, anybody that was watching this game was like, we waiting for the coverage, right? And we didn't get it. Like, oh my goodness, are you crazy? Are you crazy not to cover that? You want people to watch ESPN, and then you don't cover it? We sitting here watching it. Moments after the game is over, you don't even say a thing about it. You cut to something else. Tell me you're going to cover it later. I couldn't believe it.
Well, Mama, that's why me and you are here.
I couldn't believe it.
We will do what they can't. Or what they refuse to do. We will do it.
I'm telling you, this was a dynamic game. We saw two dynamic games. Notre Dame and this game were the best games of the day.
Let me do we got some more super chats, Mama. I'll do that, and I wanna ask you a specific question about the games we saw today. Thank you so much, Danny Girl, for the super chat. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Shamika, for the super chat. Says Quita loves sports over ESPN. I mean, they're still the worldwide leader in sports, right? And they still gave us, the games that we're watching now. But yes, there does need to be more in terms of coverage because the audience is there. In my opinion, the audience is there. 8 a.m. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says forever South Carolina fams here. Yeah, South Carolina. I'm sure South Carolina fans are so happy right now, and they're probably saying nah 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 nah. I'm sure. I'm sure that's what's happening.
Of course,
Okay.
of course,
Like
of
I'm
course.
sure. But Mama, there's something I want to talk to you about because
Okay.
we are, we had a really great day today, right? We started off the game watching a ACC team get an upset over an SEC team as Notre Dame beat Vandy. And then we close today with a ACC team getting an upset victory over an SEC team in Duke over LSU. And Mama, the question I have is, are we not putting enough respect on the ACC, given that they just took down 2 SEC teams? You talk about the SEC being this elite league, and it is. It still is. It's to me, it's the best league in the country. However, we got to acknowledge that today the ACC won, Mama. What are your thoughts about today's game? Today's day of games being bookended by 2 dominant, surprising ACC wins.
It just shows us that it doesn't matter who we think should be the best, as the SEC is the best. The ACC has listened to that noise, and they like, okay, we're going to drown you out. We're going to show you who is the best. I say that's what happened today. The ACC said, we don't care that you the SEC and you're supposed to be the best. We're going to show you that we are better by putting in the work and doing what it takes on the floor to get the win. That's what I saw in both of those games. We always say that the better team is supposed to win. But it's not the better team, it's the team that shows up that always wins. That's what we see in tournaments. The team that shows up is the team that always wins. So whether or not you represent ACC or SEC, it really doesn't matter when it comes down to these tournaments. It's the team that shows up to play. And the stars have to show up and play. And you can't take anyone for granted. And I'm sure these teams that are going to be playing tomorrow, I'm sure they've been watching these games today, and they're like, ooh, wait a minute. We got to be on top of our game because we can get taken down. Yes, you can. Yes, you can be taken down if the team that your opponent is prepared to take you down. Meaning they got a strategy that they worked out because they watched enough of your games. Everybody's seen everybody play. So it's not like they don't know your strong points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know who your strong players are. They know what you do. You go left, right, whatever. They already know all that. So it's just a matter of who is prepared enough on the floor at the time of the game. Not because of your record. Yeah. At the time of the game, who's prepared. So ACC is saying to everybody, look out, SEC, we coming for you. That's what they say.
Yeah. Basically.
That's what they say. We coming for you. We tired of you doubting our name or doubting our league, saying that we not the best. We gonna show you on the court. That's what they said today.
Yeah, and today it was like, hey, Hannah Hidalgo and Neo Ivy, they were like, okay. They want to talk some stuff. They want to talk about how I'm not a good coach, right? They want to clown Notre Dame for not being that great of a team and having a bunch of not popular name, like I kind of want to say like no name, but like they have names. But like basically, what I'm trying to say is,
they got known names.
Right? They're not known names. And people want to make fun of them and say they're not very good, and they want to talk about Neo Ivy, and people were saying, "Oh, she needs to get fired," and all this other stuff. And now look at them. Same thing early in the season. People were like, Like, this is a travesty. How is Kara Lawson the head coach of Team USA? They need to rescind that. Duke is trash and blah 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 blah. Toby Fournier, she's never going to be a real true star at Duke and all this stuff. And look, Toby Fournier just led her team to a Elite 8 appearance, scoring 22 points, going 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Really good job on the free throws for Toby Fournier. Really good job.
I was so amazed at her poise. She was so poised at that line. It was like you could just see how she grabbed the ball. She held it for a second, like letting out a good breath out, just to breathe, so she could relax when she. And when they said she was at 50% at the free throw line, I was like, well, how's she making all these free throws?
Yeah. So if y'all are wondering why does Mama keep talking about free throws? Because Toby Fournier is a terrible free throw shooter. Yeah. And today, she was on one. She looked really, really good, guys. And that was huge for Duke. Absolutely huge, because Toby is going to get to the line. Right? She's a physical player. She's going to get fouled. She's going to get to the line. And if she's able to make her free throws, dog, it's a new ball game. It's what I just thought of? It's a new season. It's a new day.
Fresh wind is coming our way.
Fresh wind is coming Duke's way. It's a season of power and awesome offense. It's a new season, and it's coming to the ACC. Man. Right? I'm just saying, you got Toby Fournier, who did her thing. You had Taina Mayer, who looked really, really good. Yes, I was like, you go, girl, with those corner threes. Go ahead, Taina Mayer, do your thing. And then to close out the game, Ashlyn Jackson.
Yes,
with the shot that truly, guys, I really do feel like this shot from Ashlyn Jackson, that's a shot that we are going to be talking about for years and years and years to come. Like, we're going to talk about that moment where Ashlyn Jackson got past Flau'jae. Flau'jae went up in there. Ashlyn Jackson got her shot ready, and the ball went around and around and around and in. We gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about that for years and years and years in the future. And at this point, I'm saying, hey, who knows? Sky's the limit for Duke.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You take down LSU. Hey, who knows? Maybe you could take down UCLA. Here's the thing. Anything is possible. If you believe, right? Anything is possible.
Yep. That's what it's about, though. And Kara Lawson is a winner at heart. She's not one of those just, I'm a coach. No, she's a winner at heart.
Yeah.
And she's not one of those like flimsy person. She is solid. And that's why you don't see her go off the handle much at all. She's solid. She knows what she's trained her team to do. She's giving them instructions. Even when they call the timeout, it's just the way she does it. She's so much calmer in her delivery.
In a similar way, Mama. I really do feel like so here's the. It's not gonna make sense initially, but I got a point. Okay, so I put Deion Sanders, Kara Lawson, Teresa Weatherspoon in a similar bucket in terms of these are people who have a way of talking and have a way of motivating and instilling belief into people around them. These are people who you can just hear talk about something motivational and they're going to have you like ready to run through a wall, right? And that sense of belief, like you heard it in the post game thing when I forgot the person's name was asking Ashlyn Jackson a question, like and saying like, "Hey, Kara Lawson, she believed in her and instilled that belief in Ashlyn Jackson that like, hey, regardless of what the play is, I believe you can knock down this shot." Right? And that sense of belief is so important. It is so important, especially in the college game, where it's just like these players, they know how to ball, right? But there are times where you need your coach to be that sense of calm. Like, dog, you got this. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you. And sometimes coaches who are really good at motivating players, maybe they may not be the best X's and O's type of coach. But I tell you, there is something special about Coach Kara Lawson. Yeah. There's something very, very special about her. And you love to see it. And you love to see her players talk about her. Because they know that she truly values and what they do and trusts that they can get the job done.
Yeah. Well, it's important for a coach to instill that belief in their players, because if the coach don't believe in you, who's going to believe in you then? Who's going to believe in you? Because you're working for the coach, right? You're working for the team, but mostly you want the coach to be happy with whatever you play. And as a team, if all of you all are on the same page, that Coach Lawson, she's instilled this in us, that whatever play she runs, she know we can get the play, do the process, what you call it, actually the play is going to happen.
Yeah, execute on the play. Yeah.
Execute on the play. She knows that you can do it because what she's put in you, and she knows what your capabilities are. Sometimes with players, they lack confidence in themselves. They have it, but if somebody say, "Come on, you can do it. You got it," that gives them that extra push. Even if Jackson had missed that basket, the fact that it hit the rim would have been good enough, because it would have meant that she executed to the point that it made to the rim. You know, a lot of times they go for they shoot and they miss the whole rim altogether. Nowhere in the rim at all. You know, so if the ball had went around like sometimes it does and dropped out, her coach would have been okay, because she would have said, you aimed for it, and there was there was a chance of that actually going in. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She wouldn't have been upset, because if you hit that rim and it went around and it bounced out, like sometimes it did, it went like halfway down and it bounced out. She was like, "Oh man, it was there." It just was the luck of the ball. That's all. And when that ball went down, because it was like everybody was like silent.
Yes.
In like looking to see, is it actually going down? Because it has already been 0-0, so they know the game is over. It was like, oh my God, what a play. And Flage is like, I can't believe that went down. I can't believe she actually hit that. I can't believe that ball circled and literally went down. 2.6 seconds left in the game. 2.6 seconds.
Yep.
A lot of times they can't even get the ball in good to even set up a play. Got that? Oh, that was a game. I'm telling you, that was a game. Now, if these games tomorrow are anything like these, like Notre Dame game and Vandy's game was, and
it better
LSU and Duke, we're going to have a day tomorrow. We're going to have a day tomorrow.
Mama, I tell
these
you.
teams are watching, they all should be like, okay, we got to bring it all tomorrow. We got to bring it all. We know we had to bring it all, but now we know, because we see what level the teams that are not expected to win are winning anyhow. They're finding a way to do it because they believe and they're playing at a different level.
Yep.
And we can't take them for granted. Take no team for granted.
Yeah.
And your best player may not be playing well.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how good they normally are, they may be off that day.
Yep.
Everybody else got to be willing to step up, literally step up and hold the team together. And like, if that person can't do it, somebody got to get up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot go down. We the better team. We're not supposed to go down. That's what LSU was supposed to do tonight.
Yeah. But they didn't. They looked frustrated, and Grace Knox, she got fouled out, and here's the thing, the refs were calling it kind of tight at times. Mm-hmm. At times they were calling it kind of tight, and as players, you got to recognize that and adjust. And so yeah, sure, it sucked that Kate Koval not Kate Koval, Grace Knox got fouled out, but at the end of the day, I mean, only you can keep yourself from getting fouled out, right?
Right.
At some point, you gotta adjust and say, okay, the refs are calling it really tight, so I'm gonna make it very obvious that I'm not doing nothing.
Right, like that foul where she was straight up at first, and then she kind of like put her hand down. Mm-hmm. I was like, all you have to do is keep it straight up. They wouldn't have called it.
Yeah, they'll call a foul on that all the time. Well, they'll consistently call that. Yeah, if your hands are not straight vertical, then they're gonna, hey, it is what it is. And
they needed her.
They needed her big time. And I actually think that was another reason as to why LSU ultimately weren't able to close out the game. But here's the thing: shout out to the team that won. Shout out to Duke for playing a really good offensive basketball game, and getting some stops when they needed to, and giving in some ways it's never mind. I was gonna say a phrase that I like. They gave LSU enough rope to kind of just beat themselves. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I don't know, in a way it's kind of like how it felt. Like yes, Duke stepped up defensively at times, and they were doing really well offensively, but like they allowed for LSU to kind of beat themselves, and that's what happened. That's what happened, in this game, and dog, just shout out to Kara Lawson, shout out to Duke, shout out to Ashlyn Jackson, shout out to Taina Mayer, shout out to Toby Fournier, shout out, man, to all of the players on this team that got the job done. To Delaney Thomas, like everybody, players showed up and showed out, and Duke is a team to be reckoned with. Yeah. Do not sleep on this team, because they clearly have shown they will make some free throws. Yeah. Now, did Ashton Jackson, miss 2 clutch free throws, especially late in the game? Yes, but at the end of the day, they still won. So hey, it is what it is. Yeah.
I was upset when she missed those. I was like, man, y'all needed those free throws. You needed those free throws. But I don't know. I don't know what her free throw average is, but I was like, man, you needed those free throws. But the best team won in the end. They played the best. Yeah. Throughout the game, so they deserve to win. Yep. That's not always what happens, because usually the other team can come back, and even if they didn't play the best, as you say, they can win ugly. But it just didn't happen for LSU. I thought for sure that they were going to win, especially with 2.6 seconds left, and they were up by 1. I'm like, oh, that's LSU going to win. I didn't think Jackson, or I didn't think a play was going to be able to be ran for that time period to get a good shot off. I didn't even think I would get a good shot off in that time. But they were able to do it. So... and I think LSU thought, okay, they up by 1, and it's only that time left. They thought it was their game. Yep. They thought they had it.
But again, that's the mistake they made consistently in today's game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, nah, we got this. It's okay. We're LSU. We're LSU. And it's like, nah, dog. If you don't play, if you are playing like LSU and not LSU,
right,
you're gonna get got. And that's what happened today. That's what
Yeah.
happened today. Missy says, Quita, you've had quite a day with your upsets. Yes, and I love it. I love it. Shout out to the ACC for taking down the SEC. Okay, I've been singing the SEC's praises all year long, and I still will. But the ACC showed up. Duke showed up. Notre Dame showed up, and I love to see it. Let's hope tomorrow there'll be some more upsets. Tisha says, I am just glad that it was an amazing game and went back and forth. It isn't how you start, it's how you finish. And I completely agree.
Yeah, true.
I completely agree. It's how you finish that counts. That's why there's several months in a women's college basketball season. That's why there's 4 quarters. It's a battle, and you got to stay the course, and you have to make it happen. And Mama, who knows? Maybe we'll see 2 more upsets tomorrow. Just a reminder on some of the matchups we have tomorrow. Just want to go through it real quick. So tomorrow, we got some really elite games to watch out for. We do have some SEC versus SEC battles in South Carolina taking on Oklahoma. Remember, Oklahoma did get that upset win earlier this season, and for South Carolina, this is sort of a revenge type of game for them. And then for Kentucky, they will be facing on Texas, and Texas beat Kentucky earlier this year. And hey, this is a redemption time for Kentucky, though I would say less so because, again, not that many people anticipate Kentucky to win. But hey, who knows? Crazier things have happened. We also have Louisville versus Michigan, which is going to be a fun one as well. And Mama, reminder, Louisville is in the ACC. So, I mean, maybe this, maybe all the ACC teams will make it to the Elite 8. Who knows? All right, so Louisville versus Michigan. And then we have Virginia versus TCU, and Mama. Virginia, they went, remember, they was in the first 4. They was in one of those first 4 games. They were a somewhat bubble of a team that made it to the NCAA tournament, won their first 4 game, won in the round of 64, won in the round of 32. Now they're in the Sweet 16. Virginia, I feel like, is on a Cinderella run, right? Okay. There is it's a Cinderella run, right? So hey, who knows? Kifa says that Kim said at the press conference, I am not retiring, there is no retiring. Well, then Twitter's wrong again, which Twitter is usually wrong. So hey, Kim Mulkey gonna clear it up for us. She gonna clear it up for us and be like, I'm gonna tell it to you straight, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
I would think that she got a lot more coaching in her and a lot more to prove at this point. You know, she got full Wally, and a lot of those players that she have now will come back because she don't have a lot of seniors. So,
well, that's if they don't transfer. That's the thing. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. We just, there's just so many questions with like the transfer portal. You just don't know, even though. You just don't know who's actually going to stay and who's actually going to leave. And so we may see a totally different, we may see a totally different LSU team next year. Who knows? All I know is, to expect the unexpected. So, hey, Virginia, they might take down TCU tomorrow because, another reminder, Mama, that that Virginia is also in the ACC. So I'm just saying. Okay.
This would be,
and also how Notre Dame and Vandy, that was the first game of the day. Louisville and Michigan is the first game of the day, and the last game of the day is Virginia and TCU. So I'm just saying we had 2 ACC upsets to book in today. Could we see two ACC upsets to bookend tomorrow. I would, the chaos starter in me would love that. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, if that happens, you're gonna really have a good show tomorrow. To cap that off, that would be an awesome show to talk about predictions, of what could happen and what we should be watching out for. Right? Let's watch out for it. Let's see if we can get some more upsets. I don't know. The games tomorrow are not necessarily like on my high list.
Yeah,
those teams are
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but the games today were the ones I wanted to watch. But I will watch those tomorrow just because of what you just said. I'll be watching to see if we got some upsets tomorrow. Because I think when it comes to South Carolina, I think they're going to beat Oklahoma. But again, if South Carolina don't show up, they can lose too. I want all these teams to understand, based on what you saw today and what you've been seeing throughout the whole tournament, that the teams that we always expect to win and has the better records does not guarantee a win. It does not guarantee. There are no guarantees in tournaments.
Yep.
You have to play the game. You have to play the game. And, it could be one player that's off that can determine whether or not your team win or lose. So everybody got to be locked in. And if any of these teams watch any of the games today, they should be in a mindset of whatever I have to do tonight, whatever my morning routine is, or whatever you do for your games, you have to do it with intentionality. You have to make sure that you're fully locked in as a player to do your part and to make sure your team is locked in.
Yep.
If you see any player that seems to be drifting off, pull them back in and like, no, come on, we got to do this thing. You got to be intentional in making sure that you win the game. Can't take nobody for granted. Don't take your teams for granted. I don't care what their record is. I don't care what they played like. I don't care what you think that they're not up to your standards. Do not take anybody for granted, because anybody can get got tomorrow.
Yep. This is March Madness. March Madness is no respecter of records.
Nope.
Doesn't matter. 0-0. It doesn't matter about rankings. Doesn't matter about points per game. None of that matters. What matters is when you step on that court, are you ready? Doom, doom, doom. Are you ready? That's what matters.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I love to see it. Two Focus says, the way our watch party went silent. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of watch parties of tonight's game went silent when they were just like, oh my God, I can't believe that shot went in. And hey, it is what it is. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some more tomorrow. But Mama, I thank you for being a good sport. You hopped on for 2 lives. I really appreciate it. It's very late. And Mama, can you believe it? It is almost 12:30, and right now we have 339 people on the live stream.
All right, awesome people of the internet.
Mama, the awesome people of the internet have shown up tonight. And guys, we really appreciate you. We really do. If you all could please hit that like button, it does help the channel out a whole lot. I try my best to go live as much as I possibly can for these tournament games. I can't go live after every single game, but this one, because I ain't got to go to work tomorrow, I was like, I'm staying up as long as it takes to do this live stream. And so I really appreciate y'all for joining us. If y'all could, please make sure to subscribe if you have not. I make content all about women's basketball, so make sure to subscribe there. We'll be live tomorrow talking about some more awesome games, hopefully some upsets that will occur tomorrow. Either way, make sure to stay here. We're going to talk just straight basketball. That's what we do here. We don't do rumors. We don't do We don't do random gossip. We don't do all the stuff. We talk about basketball and what happens on the court. And if that is of interest to you, make sure to lock in. Mama, hopefully, will be able to join us tomorrow. And we'll talk more hoops because who doesn't like to talk hoops with Quita and Momma? This is what we do.
Yay.
All day, every day.
Yes, we'll do it again tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks, Mama. I appreciate you. And have a good night.
All right. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Y'all, thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining so much. I really like it is awkward holding my phone like to the mic because otherwise y'all not gonna hear nothing that Mama had to say. But I really appreciate y'all for rocking with us. I really do. It really means a lot that y'all have embraced me and Mama and our talking about women's basketball because literally this is what we do all the time. And it just so happens that we decide to just stream it for all y'all to be able to experience together. So thank y'all for y'all comments. Thank y'all for y'all engagement. I got to go to sleep because I got to wake up early and get ready for another day of possible upsets. All right. This is Quita in the morning. Well, no, this is not Quita in the morning. This is Quita on Quita Love Sports. Signing out. I will see y'all again tomorrow on this channel. And we'll talk more hoops. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. All right. Bye-bye.